It's the show celebrating these Australian princesses of pop.
Hey there, Georgie girl, dreaming of the someone you could be. Life is a reality, you can't always run away. I am strong, I am invincible, I am one. Get physical, I wanna get physical. Let's get into physical.
Oh, aren't they classics? Nikki Bennett is the incredible artist bringing the story of these women to the stage. Nikki, so great to have you with us this morning.
It's great to be here. Yeah, thank you.
So you were singing the music of all three legends, Judith Durham, Helen Reddy and Olivia Newton-John.
I know, right? It's a big ask. It's a really big ask. If I didn't think about it properly before I started this show. No, it's been a massive writing process because, you know, 2 hours to do phenomenal hits, that many phenomenal hits, and tell their life stories as well. It's epic.
Are they connected? Do you kind of
I have a
connect
silver
them?
thread that connects them, yeah,
beautiful.
because of the whole women's movement situation.
Oh,
yeah, it's a
wow.
beautiful thread that I found in that life stories.
Just seeing them perform, it kind of gets the hair up on the back of your neck.
Yeah.
Like, these women were absolute trailblazers and influence on all of us growing up.
Yep.
What influence do you think they had on women?
Oh, that's a good question. I think everybody understands that Helen Reddy was like the feminist who wrote the feminist anthem of it, not just her decade, but of every decade even now.
Yeah.
But when I was writing the Judith story, I realised that she was an icon too, she didn't even mean to be. There was a model called Twiggy who was this tiny little thin model, right?
Yep.
And so they were the fashion industry were pushing that on women, saying this is what you got to look like, this is what you got to look like. And in the other corner, there's Judith, who perceived herself to have a weight problem, was making her own clothes to cover that. And so women all over the world were sort of turning away from this idea of the Twiggy thing and looking at little Judith from Geelong as their fashion icon, which she never imagined she would be. So she had a massive impact as well. And, of course, Olivia just proved that you didn't have to be one of the boys to make it huge in the world. One of the biggest superstars the world's ever known.
Did you fall deeper in love with them?
Absolutely. Absolutely I did, yeah. Especially Judith. I didn't know much about her. Of course, she was with the Seekers. She was with her band brothers, as I call them. But, you know, it was her that was the focus of all that, really.
So many classic songs. How did you choose which ones go in the show?
It was more about choosing which shows came out of the show because between them they sold nearly 200 million albums. So you can imagine how many hits that was, right? And
200 million albums.
yeah, between them, yeah. Olivia was over 100 million just on her own. Like, she was massive. And so I had to take out the ones that didn't fit the story. So I tell the whole story of their lives, and if the songs fitted the story, the biggest hits, I just left them in there. And if they didn't fit the story, I had to take them out. It was like choosing between children.
Now, as Australians, we kind of feel like they belong to us, but they belong to the world. Did we have to kind of share them with the globe?
Do you know, that's the funniest thing about it, because especially when there's shows like this about these stars, they all had to leave Australia to become massive. And I notice even in Australia today, people will go out and watch shows about, like, famous American performers, famous English performers, but they don't tend to want to see shows about our own icons. And the world embraced them more than Australia did. And I think that's still true, actually.
We can't wait to hear some of the show.
Yeah.
You're going to stick around to perform
I will,
for us, Nikki. Now, if you want to get tickets to Princesses of Pop, then head to Nikki